Hello. Welcome to day 4. Trying to be a little bit smarter. I've been MIA for a little bit. I've been working hard on the Zang fund. Check it out. I don't know if it's linked anywhere, but I've been streaming all day on that, trying to become a better investor. And it's hard. Investing is hard. I'm definitely very not a good investor yet. But definitely think it's going to take more than just 2 or 3 weeks of me just streaming and spending a few hours every single day. So today I'm going to do some interview prep. I have an interview coming up for an internship, a pension analyst internship. So I think what that entails is I'll be hopefully looking at different types of managers. So the pension fund I plan to work at is in the state of Maryland, and there's about $65 billion in assets under management. And then the fund itself has around 5 different types of asset categories that it invests in. And so I was reading through the investment policy of the pension fund itself, and it seems like that's one of the main investment principles that really is used to kind of formulate the pension fund itself is the fact that asset allocation is the biggest determinant of future returns. And so that's something that I kind of looked into and hopefully will be able to understand a little bit. I hope I can work on different types of asset classes and finding managers for each of those. And I remember the 5 asset classes. So the biggest one is growth and equity types of assets, and then second is rate sensitive, third is credit, and then you have real assets, and then absolute return. So I think the breakdown in terms of the target allocation, 50% growth equity, 20% rate sensitive, I believe 9% credit, and then 15% real assets. So that's 50, 20, 15, it's 85, 9. Plus 9 is 96, 94, so it's 6. So 6% of the absolute return. Right. And then just a little bit breakdown of the different types of asset classes. So I believe growth equity is split into public and private. So that's going to be your public equities, private equities, and these are asset classes think of as ownership of a company or a business. And then rate sensitive, 20%, these are fixed income securities that are investment grade. And then credit is fixed income securities that are below investment grade. Real assets, these are any type of tangible things that you can invest in. So that could be real estates, commodities, infrastructure. And then last one is absolute return. So I think this is just any type of strategy or portfolio that you invest in order to optimize or maximize the amount of return that is on that portfolio. And I think that the return itself benchmark is around maybe 3-4% above risk-free rate being maybe the yield on a 10-year treasury bond or treasury note, 10-year treasury note. Okay, so I guess let's take a look at some of the questions that I thought of, just 3. Yeah, let's see. So why investing? What do you know about pensions? Okay, so tell me about yourself. Let's try to just spitball here and see what happens. So, hey, my name is Brian. I'm currently a junior at the... Okay, so tell me about yourself. I'll say, hey, my name is Brian. I'm currently a junior, or I'm about to be I'm currently a junior at the University of Maryland, studying finance and computer science. Last summer, I was an intern at JP Morgan Chase on a software engineering team, working on some stuff in the consumer bank. The summer before that, I was able to, okay, maybe I should go into detail. So let's say for the past 2 summers, I was pretty lucky to land an internship. Last summer, in terms of work experience, my name is Brian, so I guess in terms of work experience, I've been pretty lucky to have 2 internships, one last summer and the previous summer. I've been fortunate to have to land some internships previous 2 summers. So last summer I was an intern at JP Morgan Chase on a software engineering team, I was an intern on a software engineering team in the consumer bank. And so over the course of the summer, I was assigned a project with a few other interns, and also, over the course of the summer, I was staffed on a team with 3 other interns, and together we were working on a full stack web application. To monitor the health of different applications. We're working on a full stack web app. We were working on a full stack web app that would help monitor the different types of applications within the consumer bank. That would help monitor the configurations for the different types of applications within the consumer bank. Okay, maybe that's okay. Hey, I'm Brian. I'm currently a junior at the University of Maryland, studying finance and computer science. I've been pretty lucky with getting some work experience. Hey, I'm Brian, currently a junior at the University of Maryland, studying finance and computer science. For work experience, I've been pretty lucky to land internships in the past 2 summers. Last summer, I was in For work experience, I've been pretty lucky to land internships in the past 2 summers. Last summer, I was an intern at JP Morgan Chase on a software engineering team in the consumer bank. Over the course of the summer, I worked with a team of interns and software engineers to develop a full stack web app that monitors configuration for thousands of applications within the consumer within Chase Bank. So, hey, I'm Brian. I'm currently a junior at the University of Maryland, studying finance and computer science. For work experience, I've been pretty lucky to land internships in the past 2 summers. Last summer, I was an intern at JP Morgan Chase on a software engineering team in the consumer bank. And so over the course of the summer, I was on a team with a few other interns and some software engineers, and we were working on creating a full stack web app that would monitor thousands of applications within Chase Bank. That monitors the configurations for thousands of applications within Chase Bank. Summer before, two summers ago, I interned at Willis Towers Watson, specifically in their pension benefit. Two summers ago, I interned at Willis Towers Watson. I was an intern at Willis Towers Watson on a pension benefits team. So an intern at Willis Towers Watson. On a pension benefit team. Okay. Two summers ago, I was an intern at Willis Towers Watson on a pension benefits team. So, of course, that summer, I worked with my team to administer over the course of that summer, I worked with my team to analyst. I supported my team of analysts by writing SQL queries to gather data. Over the course of that summer, I supported my team of analysts by writing SQL queries to gather data on plan participants. I supported my team of analysts by writing SQL queries to gather data on plan participants, and over the course of that summer, I supported my team of analysts by writing SQL queries to gather data on plan participants and helped and completed a data audit and helped my on retroactive payments. So over the course of that summer, I supported my team of analysts mostly by writing SQL queries on gathering different types of data within the pension plan itself and also the plan participants, and then also helped complete a data audit on retroactive payments. So I guess side. So that's cool. At school, I recently at school I started accepted into a new computational finance program. At school, I got accepted. So, at school, I got accepted into a new computational finance program that focuses on blending finance, math, and computer science topics together. So at school, I got accepted into a new computational finance program that focuses on blending finance, math, and computer science together. This may or may not be worth adding. So, my free time, I enjoy reading. My free time, I enjoy reading. My free time, I enjoy reading, dancing, skateboarding. My free time, I enjoy reading, dancing, skateboarding. In my free time, I really like to read, love to dance, and skateboard, and I also really like fashion. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Yeah. Okay. So I'm currently a junior at the University of Maryland, studying finance and computer science. Okay. Currently a junior at the University of Maryland studying finance and computer science. And for work experience, I've been pretty lucky to land internships in the past 2 summers. Last summer, I was an intern at JPMorgan Chase on a software engineering team within the consumer bank. So over the course of the summer, I worked with a team of interns and a team of software engineers to create a full-stack web app create this full stack website that would help monitor thousands of configurations for thousands of applications within Chase Bank. In the summer before that, I was an intern at Willis Towers Watson on a pension benefits team. And so over the course of that summer, I pretty much helped my team of analysts. I supported them by working on SQL queries that would help gather data about different types of plan participants, and also helped complete a data audit on retroactive payments. At school, retroactive payments. At school, I've been taking some classes in finance, computer science, a bit of math, a little bit of math. At school, I've been taking some courses in finance, computer science, a little bit of math to try to really build my foundation. Taking courses in finance, computer science, and a little bit. At school, I've taken some courses in finance, computer science, and a little bit of math. taken some courses in finance, computer science, and a little bit of math. At school, I've taken some courses in finance, computer science, and a little bit of math. Also, the treasurer for Ganji, one of the dance clubs at my school. I'm also one of the treasurers for Ganji, one of the dance clubs at my school. So in my free time, I really love to dance and watching videos of other people dancing. I really like to skateboard, I like to read, and I'm also really into fashion. And I'm really also into fashion. Yeah, so why do you want to work here? I have to say, so what? Okay, why do you want to work here? Let me try to think. Why do you want to work here? So maybe. I've been born and raised in Maryland I was born and raised in Maryland, and lived here for the past 21 years, and I was born and raised in Maryland, and I was born and raised in Maryland for the past 21 years, and I was born and raised in Maryland for the past 21 years, and I really love living, and I love living here. I was born and raised in Maryland, and I currently go to school at the University of Maryland. So, yeah, I was born and raised in Maryland. I've been living here for the past 21 years, and I currently go to school at the University of Maryland. I really have loved every bit. Maybe I could talk about. Okay, so I really have loved every bit of living in the States, and have built really good relationships with friends, with my teachers at school, with, with my teachers, and why do you want to work? Okay, so maybe I was born and raised in Maryland, currently go to school in Maryland, and I've been living here for the past 21 years. I have to say, I loved it. I have I've met really great people along the way. I've yeah, I have to say okay, so why do you want to work here? Let's say I was born and raised in Maryland. I was born and raised in Maryland, and I currently go to I was born in Maryland, currently go to school in Maryland. Been living here for the past 21 years of my life. So I was born in Maryland, currently go to Maryland, currently go to school at University of Maryland. I was born in Maryland, currently go to school at University of Maryland, and have been living here for the past 21 years of my life. I've built great first friends here. So I met my first friends here. I was born in Maryland, currently go to school at University of Maryland, and I've been living here for the past 21 years of my life. I loved it, and I love it. So why do you want to work here? I was born in Maryland, currently go to school at University of Maryland. I've been living here for the past 21 years of my life, and I love it. Being able to work with you guys. Maryland State Retirement and Pension System. Being able to work with you guys at the State Retirement and Pension System. Let me stay. I hope to stay in Maryland after I graduate. I have to stay in Maryland after I graduate. Stay in Maryland, but also even better, the work you guys do help teachers, policemen, judges, the work you guys do help teachers, policemen, judges, state employees, enforcers, judges, state employees. But even better, the work you guys do help teachers, law enforcers, judges, state employees, all people that have made my life educates, protect, being able to work with you guys at the MSRPS allows me to stay in Maryland. But even better, the work you guys do helps teachers enforce.
哎，明天想不想吃那个？就那天那个涮火锅那种牛肉买回来，那个在那个铁板那个上面烤着吃，就像那个。
Oh, that? Yeah, we can.
OK，那个挺好的。
Yeah.
这什么？弄啥了？
因为我也有一个 interview，所以我现在也在写呢。
哦，OK。
Yeah. I was born in Maryland, currently go to school at University of Maryland, and have been living here for the past 21 years of my life, and I love it. Being able to work with you guys, and I love it. And being able to work with you guys at Maryland State Retirement Pension System allows me to stay in Maryland. But even better, the work you guys do helps the lives of teachers, law enforcers, judges, state employees, all of these people. The work you guys do helps teachers, law enforcers, judges, state employees, all of these people that have made these people that have helped educate, protect, all these people that have helped educate, protect, and all of these people that have helped educate, that have helped educate and protect my life for the past 21 years. Being able to work with you guys at the Maryland State Retirement and Pension System allows me to live in Maryland, but even better, the work you guys do helps teachers, law enforcers, judges, state employees, all of these people that have helped protect and educate my life for the past 21 years. All of these people that have helped educate and protect my life, all of these people that have helped protect and educate my life for the past 21 years. I really resonate with mission to provide these I really resonate with your mission to provide I really resonate with your mission to provide these people with life of dignity and retirement. I really resonate with your mission to provide these people with a life of dignity after retirement. How does Von Hughes word it? provide these people a I really resonate your mission to provide these people a retirement that's okay. Sure. So I was born in Maryland, currently go to school at University of Maryland, and have been living here for the past 21 years of my life, and I love it. Being able to work with you guys at the Maryland State Retirement Pension System allows me to stay here after I graduate. But even better, the work you guys do helps teachers, law enforcers, judges, state employees, all of these people who have helped protect and educate my life for the past 21 years. And so I really resonate with your mission to really provide a life of And so I really resonate with your mission to provide these people a retirement that can be comfortable. Let's see. I want to see what Siobhan Hughes writes, because he had a good way of putting it. Okay, statement of goal. proper benefits dignity is an honorable life. Respectable, I guess. Life. I really resonate with your mission to provide these people the proper benefits that allows them to live a respectable life after retirement. After retirement. I really resonate with your mission to provide these people the proper benefits that allows them to. So, I was born in Maryland, currently go to school at University of Maryland, and I've been living here for the past 21 years of my life, and I love it. Being able to work with you guys at the Maryland State Retirement Pension System allows me to stay in Maryland, but even better, the work you guys do helps teachers, law enforcers, state employees, judges, all of these people that have helped protect and educate my life for the past 21 years. And so I really resonate with your mission of providing these people the benefits to live a respectable life after retiring. After retiring. My parents both work for the federal government. I think this I want to learn as much as I can this summer about investing. So why this investment? I want to learn So why this investment role? Well, I want to learn as much as I can this summer about investing. I think pension fund and I think the Maryland Pension Fund and I think this investment internship helped me do just that. So I want to learn as much as I can this summer about investing, and I think this investment internship is going to help me do just that. It's going to help me do just that. I read through To my understanding, your fund invests in 5 asset categories: growth or equity, equity. You also got equity. I also saw it's called growth, equity, rate sensitive, credits, real assets, and so absolute. I think this, to my understanding, your fund invests in 5 asset categories. So in 5 asset categories, equity, you guys also call it growth, equity, rate sensitive, credit, real estate, and absolute return. So that's a lot. Within those asset categories, there are thousands further subcategories, millions of securities. And within those asset categories, there are further subcategories and millions of individual securities to choose from. And millions of securities to choose from. I would love to learn about each of these categories and also the investments. I would love to learn about each of these categories and the investments. I would love to learn about each of these categories and the evaluate managers and their strategies for To my understanding, your fund invests in 5 asset categories. So there's growth or equity, rate sensitive, credit, real assets, and absolute return. And within those asset categories, there are further subcategories and millions of securities to choose from. I would really love to learn about each of these categories and really help you guys evaluate managers and strategies. And help evaluate managers and their strategies. Help the fund outperform the benchmarks. And within those asset categories, there are further subcategories and millions of securities to choose from. I would love to learn about each of these categories and help managers and their strategies. Help evaluate managers and their strategies to help the fund perform their. And help evaluate managers and their strategies to help the fund outperform its benchmark. To outperform the benchmarks. how do you guys balance short-term market movements and long-term how do you guys I guess one thing is like, how do you guys balance short-term market movements and long-term returns? Yeah. So short-term movements, long-term returns. Alright, gonna go use the bathroom real quick.
等一会儿下去看看有那个了，我给弄低的啊。看你那被子怎么回事了，老是撑不展呀那样子。
some ice cream. Whew, alright.
明天你想吃啥呀？明天早上喝稀饭吧。我明天要么做点那个龙虾，咱们这还有2个3个呢，什么 lobster，煮一下做成那个，就跟那hot dog呀，那里头加点菜那菜。
Sure, yeah.
弄点那个哈。
Okay.
不知道那个怎么做？看看。哎呀，我给你刚洗过了，你怎么又洗了衣服？床上用品。
Pokey 上去了，然后蹭了一下。
什么时间？
就是你们打工的时候，工作的时候。
上班时候啊。我刚洗的。
No, Mom, no. Ask about their interviewer's background. What are the current songs? What technologies do you guys use? I saw that you guys were looking for people who know some Python. What do you guys use that for? Okay. How do you guys find managers? How do you guys find managers? How do you guys find managers? As for next steps, how do you guys balance short-term market movements and long-term returns? What technologies do you guys use? I saw that you guys were looking for people who know some Python. What do you guys use that for? How do you guys find managers? I'm curious if there's a database you guys have, or curious if there's a database you guys have, and maybe follow let's see, average pension fund allocation. National Association model of asset allocation. David Swenson. That's pretty crazy. hedge funds, natural resources, real estate, venture capital. Wow. In the past 10 years, you have 2.5 the money. Very low in US equities, hedge funds, venture capital, private equity, foreign equities, real estate, bonds, and cash. Asset allocation. Let's see. It's the Yale model. Doesn't really say the same area. Well, if only 9% assets of stocks, bonds. Boston College. Boston College Center for Retirement Research. Oh, this is cool. State and local pensions, so equities, fixed income, state managed fund. So Maryland. Oh wow. You will require There's Montgomery Cambridge. Jobs. Investments. Okay. Counties and teachers. Oh, wait. Let's County. Let's employees retirement system. Oh wait, oh I can log in. Shoot. Okay, let me get back on track. So how do you guys balance short-term market movements and long-term returns? What technologies do you guys use? I saw that you guys were looking for people who knows. What do you guys use that for? Follow up. So how do you guys find managers? I'm curious if there's a database you guys have. Managers. Oh yeah. So Terra Maria. exponents. Less bond. Tax asset management. Full. Yeah. Oh wow, that's crazy. $3.9 billion. That's the first pennant firms. That's cool. Experience Operation Program Manager. What's up? Be like, yeah, let's be So, meanwhile, so much money gushed into alternatives that their returns converge with those of public markets investing consolidate. Size and scale. With its almost infinite time horizon and vast pool of assets, Yale can afford hundreds of millions of dollars in interim or even permanent losses. more. Need to use that again. For at least a decade. You can cut spending if the you have a lot more money than that, says Mr. Siegel. Well, because he was there. Okay. How do you guys find managers? I'm curious if there's a database you guys have on the money managers. Let's see. So, maybe a question about funding ratio / percentage. So, a question about funding ratio. Percentage. Oh, follow up. So what are the ways you evaluate investment managers? Follow up. What are the ways you evaluate investment managers? Is it through past performance performance ratios. Performance ratios. What are some ways, what are other ways you evaluate investment managers? Is it their past performance ratios? Okay, so what are your outlooks for the next 5, 10, 15 years? Yeah, let's take a look at their reports. Are there any thoughts on what are some other determinants? Are there any thoughts on what are some of the determinants out in markets? how do you guys how do you guys come up with the asset allocation strategy? Wait, so the asset allocation strategy. So what are some of the skills that you are looking for in an intern? And then what are some projects that you think an able to code as an intern? So will I be able to? So will I be able to code as an intern? Okay. Tell me about. Oh. So. So why investing? Why does investment roll? Okay, so why investing? I think maybe we can have a. What do you know about pensions? And then maybe a. Tell me about a technical project you worked on. Okay, maybe this. So, technical project I worked on was. So I think the most technical project I worked on was probably the intern project I had at JP Morgan Chase. So over the course of that summer, I worked with a team of other interns and software engineers, and we created this website that would help monitor the configurations for thousands of applications within Chase Bank. And so how it does that is and so some of the maybe I can go about some of the technologies we used was having model view controller maybe. Okay, yeah, maybe that. So one of the most technical projects I probably worked on was the intern project I had at JP Morgan Chase. So that was pretty much building a website using this model view controller framework that allows us to model view controller framework where we're displaying information about configurations for different types of applications within the bank on a UI, which is our website, but we're getting that data from these different types of microservices across the entire bank, and that's feeding through to our database. And then we have a data model for each of the different configurations. And we also have a data model for the different configurations. And we also have a data model for on was building the most technical project I worked on was building the websites, the full stack website. I was building the full stack website during my internship at JP Morgan Chase. So the most technical project I worked on was building the full stack website during my internship at JP Morgan Chase. This was first project. We built the project using a model view controller framework. We built this project using a model view controller framework we built the project using a model view controller framework. Users could view the configurations for their app on the websites. Users could view the configurations for their app on the websites. These configurations were pulled from our database by the controller, and the data streamed users could view the configuration for their app on the websites. These configurations were pulled from a database by the controller, and then flowed into our database under specific data models from a streaming service. So the most technical project I worked on from a data streaming service. The most technical project I worked on was building the full stack website during my internship at JP Morgan Chase. And we built a project using a model view controller framework. Users could view the configurations for their app on the website, and these configurations were pulled from our database by the controller we coded up. And the data flowed into our database under specific data models from a data streaming service. I used a few couple different technologies during the internship. Java, I use a couple different technologies during the, for the backend, we used the Java Spring framework. For the front end, we use the Java, we use the TypeScript React framework. And our database was a SQL database provided by Oracle. Was an Oracle SQL database. Okay. The most technical project I worked on was building the full stack website during my internship at JPMorgan Chase. And we built the project using a model view controller framework. And so pretty much what that means is we created this website in which users could view the configurations, and then the configurations were sent to our website, or pretty much pulled from the database to our website by the controller, and then data streamed into our database via a data streaming service under the specific data models that we defined. And so putting all of this together, different applications within the Chase Bank would stream their data, which is configurations, to our backend or our database, and then our backend to our backend, then to our database. And then whenever a user wants to look at any configuration for their application, then our controller would also retrieve that from our database and then display it on the website. So for the backend, we used a Java Spring framework. So that pretty much took care of all of the API calls, API requests that we need to make for the front end and also for our database. And then for the front end, we used a TypeScript React framework. And so TypeScript is just and so this allowed us to create some fancy UI components and be able to display all of the information. And then for our database, we had a SQL Oracle database. This project was fairly technical from a software engineering side, but I also learned what it's like to develop in a team, and this project was fairly technical from a software engineering perspective, but I also learned important skills in working with a team and being able to collaborate. But I also learned what it's like to develop with to work with a technical team of software engineers, but also learn what it's like to work with a technical team of software engineers, how to develop. But I also learned what it's like to work with a technical team of software engineers, how to collaborate efficiently. common interview, pension analyst interview questions. Okay, gonna use the bathroom real quick. Pension interview. There is one. It's Michael Moore. Pension fund interview. Oh, I think this one. feel like this is actually pretty good. Tell us about a time. Okay, so I think, yeah, this is where I could talk about Willis Towers Watson. So during my internship at Willis Towers Watson, one of the clients that my team was servicing I was approached by another member during my internship at Willis Towers Watson. I was approached by a manager on a separate client team from mine, asking if I could help with. So maybe this is just a story. So during my internship at Willis Towers Watson, I was approached by a manager on a separate client team, asking if I could help with a data audit on retroactive payments. I guess retroactive annuity and lump sum payments. She asked me if, because there wasn't anyone on her team familiar with SQL and needed someone to retrieve the data from their database and build out reports. Retrieve the data from and build reports in Excel. During my internship at Willis Towers Watson, I was approached by a manager on a separate client team asking if I could help with the data audit on retroactive annuity lump sum and lump sum payments. She asked me because there wasn't anyone on her team familiar with SQL and needed someone to retrieve the data from the database and build a report in Excel. So I took up the let's see, she asked me because there wasn't excited to help. I was really excited to help. But I was really excited to help, but soon as I started projects, I started hitting a massive roadblock. The database was massive and there wasn't any helpful documentation to guide me. So during my internship at Willis Towers Watson, I was approached by a manager on a separate client team asking if I could help out on data audit for retroactive annuity and lump sum payments. So I was approached because no one on her team actually no one on her team was familiar with SQL, and so she needed someone to retrieve all the data from the database that she had and build a report in Excel. And I was really excited to help out on this project, but as soon as I started out, I realized that this database was massive and there was little documentation to guide me through what the different tables were and where I could actually find this data. So I spent hours going through each of the tables manually. And it was massive and there wasn't any helpful documentation to guide me. But I kept pushing through and went through the tables manually and finally found the ones that were necessary. I wonder what a VLOOKUP is. VLOOKUP. For the data audit, I then queried data. Reports and sent it to the client. And the manager sent it to the client. And the manager approved it and sent it off to the client. So during my internship at Willis Towers Watson, I was approached by a manager on a separate client team about a data audit on retroactive annuity and lump sum payments. And so the reason she had approached me was because there wasn't anyone on her team available that was comfortable or knew some basics of SQL, and so that there wasn't really anyone comfortable. There wasn't anyone on her team that was familiar with SQL to go into her database and gather the necessary information. And so I was pretty excited to gather the necessary information. And so I tried to step up and was pretty excited for this project. But as soon as I started, I realized that this database was massive and there was little documentation on how to really, and there was little documentation on the tables and what was actually included in each of the tables. So I pretty much had to power through, but I decided to just power through and went through all the tables manually, eventually found the tables that I needed and was able to query all the data, build a report, and then sent it off to our manager, approved it, sent it to the client. Okay, tell me. Okay, Hey, I'm Brian. I'm currently a junior at the University of Maryland studying finance and computer science. For work experience, I've been pretty lucky to land internships over the past 2 summers. Last summer, I was an intern at JP Morgan Chase on a software engineering team in the consumer bank. So, over the course of the summer, I worked on building a website with a group of other interns and software engineers that help monitor the configurations for thousands of applications within the consumer bank or within Chase Bank. So, the summer before that, I was an intern at Willis Towers Watson and the pension benefits on a pension benefits team. And so, over the course of that summer, I really helped support analysts by writing some SQL queries to gather data about plan participants, about payments, and helped on a data audit project as well. So at school, I've taken some courses in finance, computer science, and a little bit of math. I also became the treasurer for one of the school dance clubs. I'm also one of the treasurers for the school dance clubs where I help fundraise and raise some money. Where I help fundraise money for the club, or I help fundraise money for the club, and where I help fundraise money for the club, and also where I help fundraise for the club and apply for funding from our school, from the SGA. And in my free time, I really like dancing. I love reading. I really like to dance. I like reading a lot. Love skateboarding, and I'm also really interested in fashion. So why do you want to work here? Alright. I was born in Maryland, currently go to school at the University of Maryland, and have been living here for the past 21 years. And I've been living here for the past 21 years of my life, and I love it. Being able to work with you guys at the Maryland State Retirement and Pension System allows me to stay in Maryland, but more importantly, you guys help teachers. But more importantly, the work you guys do helps teachers, law enforcement officers, judges, all of these people that have helped protect and educate my life for the past 21 years. I was born and raised. I was born and raised in Maryland. I currently go to school in Maryland, and I love it. Working at being able to work with you guys at the Maryland State Retirement and Pension System allows me to stay in Maryland, but more importantly, the work you guys do helps the lives of teachers, law enforcement officers, judges, all of these people that have helped protect and educate my life for the past 21 years. And so I really resonate with your mission to provide these people with to provide these people the proper benefits that allows them a really respectful life after retirement, or after retiring. And I want to learn as much as I can. I want to learn as much as I can this summer, and I think I can really do that at the Maryland State Retirement and Pension System. And I really do think that I can do that and I really do think I can learn and I want to learn as much as I can about investing this summer, and I believe I can accomplish that by working for you guys at the Maryland State Retirement Pension System. You guys invest across, to my understanding, you guys invest across 5 different asset categories: equity, rate sensitive, credits, absolute return, and real assets. And within those asset categories, there's so many different types of subcategories and millions of individual securities. So there's a huge investment markets, and so there's a huge market to work with here. And I would love to learn more and I would love to learn a little bit, and I would love to learn as much as I can about each of these different types of assets and really understand how you guys are able to analyze the different investment managers and strategies to help the pension fund outperform its benchmarks. Okay. It's kind of tough, yeah. Perform these benchmarks. I think, for me, I think my investment philosophy might differ from the philosophy of a pension fund. I see myself currently about to graduate college in about a year. I'm making very little money, but I see myself as hopefully having a long life ahead of me, and right now is a really good opportunity to take on some risk, and so I would love to invest in public equities, private equity if I had enough money, hedge funds if I had enough money, and really focus on riskier long-term, and really focus on risky, and really allocate my portfolio towards riskier, maybe long-term investments. Riskier long-term investments. Riskier long-term investments. Maybe throw in some index funds in there. Maybe throw in some index funds in there to track maybe the S&P, or maybe throw some index funds in there to track the S&P 500. I think from a very naive perspective, though, I would love to be able to help. Also coming from, but looking at this from a different perspective, I would love to invest. Maybe I could talk about it. So maybe coming from a different perspective, I would love to invest in some of the local community, something like that. So some of the industries that I might look into are, I guess from a different perspective, some of the themes I would love to, some of the themes that I would invest in over the next 5-10 years, I would love to really make investments in U.S. manufacturing. I think that over the past 20 years, due to, let's say, due to some due to foreign policy and some trade regulations, a lot of manufacturing in the fashion industry has moved overseas, and I would love to see apparel manufacturing I would love to see some of that manufacturing come back to the U.S., and I would love to see some of that manufacturing come back to the U.S. Yeah. Okay, maybe that's getting carried away here. Yeah. How do you guys balance short-term market movements and long-term returns? How do you guys come up with the weights of the asset allocation strategy What technologies do you guys use? I saw that you guys were looking for people who know some Python. What do you guys use that for? How do you guys find managers? I'm curious if there's a database you guys have on the money managers. What are the ways you evaluate investment managers? Is it through past performance, performance ratios? Okay. Yeah, so I guess what are some of the skills that you guys are looking for in an intern? And what are some of the projects that an intern might be able to work on over the summer? Okay, also, can you guys tell me a little bit about your backgrounds? What you guys studied in college? Maybe the steps you took to get here, and what do you guys do now and what do you guys do now in your roles? Oh, well, so what are some of the projects I can expect? What are some of the things that I could work on as an intern? Do you think I'll be able to code? Also, do you think I'll be able to program, build some applications for you guys? Do you think I'll be able to code a little bit, write some Python scripts for you guys, maybe do some of my own research as well? Okay, yeah, maybe I could also talk a little bit about my market overview. So I'll do that, but I'm gonna end this stream for now and then probably go shower, come back.